Chapter 5 Lava Bombs. Jack didn't feel like a happy camper anymore. Walking through the cold, thin air, he looked at the snowmobiles parked near the hut. "We don't know how to drive snowmobiles," Jack whispered to Annie. "We haven't trained for anything, including altitude sickness." "That's okay. If we get in trouble, we can use the wand," said Annie. "No, we can't," said Jack. "We can't use the wand for ourselves. Plus, we haven't tried our hardest yet." "This way, gang," called Nancy. She was ushering everyone into the small orange building. Jack and Annie followed the group inside. The one-room hut had plastic chairs, a small heater, axes, jugs of water, and shelves with boxes of trail mix. "Have a seat and help yourself to some of the best water in the world," Nancy said. "It comes from melted glacier ice." Everyone sat on the plastic chairs. Lucy, Kim, Tony, and Ali poured water into the tin cups and lowered their masks to drink. Jack was thirsty, but he shook his head no at Annie. He was afraid for them to show their faces. "Before we take off, I want to warn you again about the snowmobiles," said Nancy. "No matter how much training you've had, you must be very careful. On your ride up to the crater, remember to drive sideways so if the snowmobile slips and rolls over, your leg won't get crushed." Everyone nodded. "How do you drive sideways?" Jack wondered in a panic. "Don't be afraid to go fast, and don't lock up the brakes," said Nancy. "Locking your brakes can spell disaster." "And watch out for lava bombs," said Ali, the biologist. "Lava bombs?" Jack piped. He quickly cleared his throat and deepened his voice. Excuse me, lava bombs?" "Lava that spits from the crater," said Ali. "Spits?" repeated Jack. "Like oatmeal that bubbles and spatters out of the pot," said Lucy, the space scientist. "Except these bombs aren't made of oatmeal," said Ali. "They're blobs of fiery hot liquid rock. Some of them can be as big as a car. They burn deep holes in the ice and snow." "If they hit you," said Tony, chuckling, "well, just think about it." Jack didn't want to think about it. "Seriously, it's pretty neat," said Nancy. "For millions of years, hot gas and lava have carved deep, hidden places beneath the surface ice of these slopes, caverns and towers. No one knows all the secrets of Mount Erebus." Nancy took a last sip of water and put her cup down. "Okay, guys, you have a few hours to do your experiments and get your stories. Then Pete will come back for us. Let's go." As Jack stood up to go, he almost fell over. The room was spinning. He closed his eyes, but that only made it worse. After the others had filed out the door, Jack sat down on his chair. "I'll just stay here for a second," he thought, his heart pounding. "You okay?" said Annie, coming back into the hut. "I'm dizzy," said Jack, trying to catch his breath. "I think I've got altitude sickness." "I don't feel so great either," said Annie. "Try taking off your mask and goggles so you can breathe better." She helped Jack lift off his mask and goggles. "Does that help?" "Yeah, a little." Jack took a deep breath. "But we need lots of help." "What do you mean?" said Annie. "Help getting over altitude sickness," said Jack. "Help driving snowmobiles. Help dodging lava bombs. Help finding an ancient crown. And what is that anyway, an ancient crown?" Nancy poked her head back into the hut. "What's up, guys? You coming?" "Yikes," said Annie. Jack quickly tried to put his goggles and masks back on, but it was too late. What are you? Who are you?" Nancy sputtered. "You're not a journalist. You're a kid." "Don't worry," said Annie in a deep voice. "He's my son." "What?" said Nancy. He is," said Annie. "I often take him on my assignments. You what? Said Nancy. Annie, give it up, said Jack. We're caught. Oh, okay, said Annie. She pushed up her goggles and pulled down her mask. I'm Annie, and he's Jack. We're sister and brother. I'm going to have a heart attack, said Nancy. What are you kids doing here? We were looking for... Annie stopped. Jack knew even Annie couldn't explain their mission to save Merlin to Nancy. This is unbelievable, said Nancy. I've got to get you two back to the station. Your parents must be frantic. I can't believe this. No, it's our fault. No one will blame you, said Jack. But Nancy was pulling out a small radio. Come in, Pete. Come in. The radio crackled and popped. Then Pete's voice came through. Hear you, Nancy, he said. Pete, you need to get the chopper back here, quick, and pick up two of my group. They're just little kids. Not so little, thought Jack. Repeat that, Nancy, said Pete. Two little kids came with the group, Nancy shouted. I didn't know they were kids. Oh, it's too hard to explain. Can you come back right away, please? Sure thing, said Pete. You head up with the others. I'll pick up the kids. Thanks. They'll be here at the hut, waiting for you to take them back, said Nancy. Over and out.